Here's how I made $45,000 while I'm on vacation. For those of you who's a one-man, one-woman show, listen up. So you gotta understand that the goal when I got into real estate, it's not about working harder and longer hours to make more money, but how can I work less but still be able to make the kind of money that I want to make? I didn't want to create another job for myself. I'm sick and tired of being stuck at the job for a very long time. I was being trapped in the mall for a very long time. I didn't want to continue that lifestyle. So it really comes down to is lifestyle. So for those of you who's one man, one woman show, listen, I did that for many, many years. You had to have a good system and a good team in place to be able to take down these leads, to be able to convert them, all right, and actually change them into deals, close on them without you physically being so much involved in it. I think the best vacation is the vacation that you can still make that money at the same time. So, buying passive income, buying rental property is another way to be able to make money while you're on vacation. But when you have a business, you gotta start thinking that you cannot be working in your business, but you gotta be working on your business, which means you as a leader, you gotta make sure that your team is running properly. So let me share with you exactly how I was able to go from a one-man show to now having 8 to 9 VAs, all right, running my wholesaling business, without me being involved in it every single day, cranking out 8, 6, 7 hours a day. So, and I want you guys to understand that this is a process, all right? It's not something where it's gonna happen overnight. And we know the hardest thing as a business owner is finding good people. That's the hardest thing, because once you find good people, your team kind of run itself. But having the wrong people or not having the right people, sometimes even require much more of your time involved in it, because you got to train them, you got to teach them exactly what it is. Then they quit, then you got to get someone else in, right? It costs you time and it costs you money. But it's the process that you have to go through to get to the point where the system and the team run itself, all right? So for those of you who don't know, I do wholesaling 100% virtual, which means I can be anywhere. I was in Vietnam for like a month and a half, and we're still being able to close deal because I got my VA. For those of you who don't know, is virtual assistant. These are the girls that are from the Philippines. So they qualify the leads, they set the appointment, the purchase manager calls back, lock this property up on a contract over the phone, and then it goes over to my transactional coordinator, all right? And all of this are being done virtually. All of my VAs are from the Philippines, okay? So for those of you who think you have to physically build a business that everybody has to be in your area, I want you to understand that it is possible where you don't need anybody to physically be there for you to close these deals. But I do highly recommend that if you're gonna go virtual or you decided to take your business virtually, you gotta make sure that you at least have foot on the ground, which means someone that's gonna help facilitate the showing for you between the seller and the buyer. And the best way to do that, as I do it, is I connect with other wholesaler or a realtor in the local market that wants to work with an investors. So it goes from my purchase manager over to my transactional coordinator, all right? She market the deal, send it out to my buyers, okay? They calls in, she set the appointment to do the showing. She calls the guy, that is our foot on the ground, to go and facilitate the showing, call the seller, set the appointment. So they make all this happens all over the phone. Now, for those of you, if you want to build a team that is physically in your area, that is completely fine. It's all come down to is how do you want to run your business? I like to be free. I don't want to have an office space that I want to go to. I don't want to, I like to be able to run it on the internet. Open my laptop from anywhere. My team can be anywhere, and they will be able to get all of this done. But for you to step away from your business, you must understand that you must have system and you must have a team in place. So we have systems where it's like going to McDonald's, right? You put in your order and it just goes through the process. So same thing, the leads comes in, all right? So my VA pull the list. That is the company that I use to pull my list, okay? And you can use my promo code or just go to that link. So my VA will pull the list. They will take that list and they will transfer it over to another company, all right, where we're gonna skip trace that list. And then we'll take that list, all right? They now gonna split up the task where half of them, where they're gonna cold call them. Half of them, they're gonna send out a text message, all right? And if the seller respond, then my VA, which is the first positions, is the one that filter and qualify the leads. So for those of you who want to pull away and get away from that one man, one woman show, the first position that you need to hire out is the person that filter and qualify the leads, because that is going to be the one that takes the longest, right? None of us want to cold call. It's exhausting. I've done it before. I hated it. And I think majority of us that are entrepreneur, we are more of a bigger pictures person instead of, being, diving into doing all this little thing. But sometimes it's hard for us to give it up because we're thinking no one could do it better. Right? No one can do it better than I can. No one will care about the deal. Oh, they were gonna lose on the deals. I used to think like that too. So how you're gonna start shifting is you have to shift your mindset and understand that do you wanna make 99% of the profit and work 10 hours a day, 13 hours a day, doing everything yourself? Or are you willing and being okay with making 60% or 50%, but you're able to leverage, right, your time and hire other people to do it so you are not involved in it. So you only work in 1 hour or 2 hours a day. So the choice is up to you. But I decided the route that I didn't want to do that. All right. And there's a saying by Rockefeller that he said that he rather makes 1% and then have 99% of the people do all the work instead of making 100% and him doing all the work. So you have to make that decision. And once you make that decisions, then you know that your first position that you're going to hire is the person that's going to either take an incoming call, answering all the text message, or making all that cold call for you. So they filter, they qualify the lead for you. So now your hour is going to be cut in whatever it is. If it takes you 3 hours to cold call, if it takes you 4 hours to cold call, well, guess what? Now you're able to have someone, now you take that 4 or 5 hour, you're going to shift it over to somebody else. They're going to do that. And the purchase manager, normally, you have to go through a lot of no's to get that yes. Like, hey, I want to get an offer. So typically the phone appointment, there's not many. Okay, so which means you're now already cutting your day, cutting that 4 to 5 hours. And now you become the purchase manager. So they filter, qualify the leads. They send it over to you. Now you just need to call back, make the offer to the seller, and see if you can lock it up on a contract. The next position that you want to hire out once you got the lead manager in place is you want to have a transactional coordinator. That's what I call them. I know a lot of you call them dispositions, okay? But you got to have a transactional coordinator. This is the person that will sell the deal for you, which means once it's under contract, right? Once the purchase manager take it under contract, then it goes over to them. They will email blast, text blast, market the deal out to find a buyer for the property. They will talk to the seller to set up the appointment. They'll talk to the person to facilitate the showing. They'll talk to the title company. So they kind of handle all of that. The last position that you ever want to give up is the actual purchase manager, because this is the person, it is the key to your company. I think every business, you got to be able to close a sales. Without sales, you can't run a business. You know what I'm saying? So that's the last position that you have to give up, because these people are really rare to find. I like to make sure that they have somewhat of a sales skills. So if they have somewhat of a sales skills or experience, it's easy for you to train them up. But if they have no sales skills, to take someone from being shy and not afraid to make that offer, or they don't have any sales skills, to take them and to turn them into a salesperson, it is extremely, extremely hard. So when you go seek for them, just make sure that they have somewhat of a salesman skills, that they, when they're on the phone, that they are good on the phone, a good negotiator, right? And those are the people that are easier for you to train and to mold them into that salesperson that you need to close that deal. So anyways, that's all I wanted to share with you, is just having a good team and have good system in place, and just make sure that it goes in order. So our leads comes in, our lead manager filter qualify the leads. Once a seller want an offer, it goes to my purchase manager, then it goes to my transaction coordinator, and that's it. 3 precision. Let's just say if it goes to my lead manager, seller not motivated, then that lead will stay with the lead manager and they will put it into your CRM, and we use Podio, and it'll just keep them as a follow-up. And our follow-up sequence goes 15, 30, 60, 90 days, etc. Going from warm lead to hot lead. So if it's a hot lead, that you want to make sure you keep a tight follow-up. If it's a cold lead, I typically even do 30, 60, 90 days out, but I keep following them up. The one that we don't follow up and we remove from our list is the person that said, hey, you know what, take me off your list. But you guys, that's how I'm able to travel. If it wasn't for the COVID, typically my wife and I goes on a vacation or trip at least once every other month. And that's been one of our goals when we first started real estate, was to be able to be free, was to be able to boom, just pick up a bag and just travel and be whatever we want, but still gotta make that money. That is what I enjoy, and it's fun on my vacation. A lot of people think it's vacation. You don't work when you're on vacation. I like to really blend it in. That's how I like it. Right? Vacation to me is just sit there relaxing in the sun and doing nothing. It's kind of boring. I want to be able to blend it in, but I also don't want to be working all the time while I'm on my vacation. So having a good team, having a good system in place is going to be able to help you achieve the goal, the dreams that you want. So anyways, you guys, I hope this video add a lot of value to you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. For those of you who's new to the channel, welcome to the Wholesale to Million family. Hopefully it's not too boring for you, but boom, smash that subscribe button if you want to continue getting more free content. And please really help me out. Boom, smash that thumbs up. Really help out with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, which I do every single Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, for a live cold call role play. I'm currently in Tampa, Florida right now at a real estate mastermind. My wife and I, we're going to head back. We're going to fly out on Saturday, but everyone seems to be leaving Thursday, so that's what we are probably going to do too. Hopefully this video will add a lot of value to you. Until next time, take care and ciao.